Started.
Okay.
Calling everyone to
I
order.
gotta read my name. Oh my gosh.
Karen, are we good on attendance?
We are.
Okay, let's see. We gotta approve our agenda.
I motion that we approve the agenda.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Consent agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second. Oop, Jan beat me.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Citizens' comments.
We have four at this point in time. The first one is David Device.
Thank you. One of the things I've really appreciated this past year is having your meetings on tape, so to speak, where I can review it if I'm not able to come or if I want to check something, it's available.
David, tell me your last name again.
Deep ice. In the winter, we have really thick ice. It's deep ice. I'd like to make one other suggestion to improve transparency, and that revolves around your consultant reports. Over the past 6 months, you've had a number of consultant reports helped redefine how to do the executive director evaluation, facility evaluation, audit report, survey of citizens, and probably hear about tonight the review of the retreat. And what I'd like to see is that these written consultant reports that have been provided you are somewhere available on the AADL site. For example, when you go to About Us, I would expect to see not just the annual reports, but the audit report, where I can click on it and review it at my leisure. And somewhere, sort of one click away, I think these written reports should be available. That's my comment.
Thank you. It's a very interesting suggestion.
All right. We have Quinn Song.
Quinn, you can pull that microphone right down to you if you want. Good work.
Hi, my name is Quinn. My favorite library is the downtown library. I like the downtown library because there are so many events every single day. Another reason why I like the downtown library is because I like all the fish in the kids section. I love going to the library because I like how it's always so quiet and because there's so many different books. My favorite library series is Nancy Drew. But I also like different libraries, like school libraries, public libraries, and all sorts of libraries. Most of all, I like the summer games at AADL. They're always so fun. My family likes saving our points for the next year. Again, my name is Quinn Song. Oh, and always, always read.
Thank you. Very well done, Quinn.
Jagan. Okay, Jagan Song.
You can pull the microphone back up. You have quite the height difference between you.
Okay, so I just wanted to commend the AADL for being such a prominent part of Ann Arbor's culture and infrastructure. And I just wanted to say that I really enjoy the summer games, mostly because of their great puns, but also because they carry some humor with them as well. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was excellent.
And Ronan Bailey.
Ronan.
I like that there is big chests at the library and a lot of books at the kids section and computers. And I want more sports books, like top 10 list of everything books. Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, tonight's public comments are giving public comments of recent past a run for its money. That's it? Okay. Well, as always, you can talk at the end if you think of something during the meeting, but let's move on to financial reports. Eli, are there points for tonight for speaking?
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Good evening.
Bill does not get points.
Yeah, do you guys have like three like drop?
We play, but that would be cheated.
You have my report in front of you for May 2018. So far, we have collected $15,486,283, which is 99.3% of our annual budgeted tax receipts of $15,598,058. Year to date, we are currently $1.56 million under our expenditure budget, and that's by going by 12ths. Do I have any questions?
Should we think of ways to spend it?
We are. That's going to come down quite a bit after this month.
I thought so.
This is not the city. Can I ask, where is there an area that is projected that we will not be spending it?
That we will not?
Yes.
We're going to be pretty close to spending. We're going to be, I'm estimating that we're going to be about $900,000 under budget. Possibly a little bit in salaries just because of turnover and our having to get people in. It takes a month or so to get in, and especially if you lose people that were at higher salaries, you're bringing people in at lower, so that budget amount doesn't get spent.
That's why the auto companies do it.
Yeah. We're going to be spending the programming money. We're going to be spending the materials money. We've spent the capital outlay money. So there's going to be a few that are.
Thank you. So we're right on budget, as it were.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Are you disappointed?
No, I'm not disappointed.
I think we're all set, yeah? Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we move on to committee reports. So the executive committee met on Friday afternoon, and we discussed the final aspects of the director's evaluation process, which has dragged on a little longer than we had intended. So Josie's been extremely patient, and later in this meeting, we'll read her into the record the letter that represents our comments on her performance this year. And we also discussed the retreat, and as David mentioned, we do have a final report from the consultant, but we received it just a few minutes ago, so it's not ready for discussion tonight. Any questions about either of those things? Sorry, I feel like I'm making kind of this feedbacky sound.
I don't think we missed anything else.
I don't think so.
That's it.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the director's report.
Thank you very much. I just want to make sure that the community knows that the library will host a candidate information session for anyone interested in placing their name on the November ballot for any of the 3 seats that will be up for election for the library board. That candidate information session will be held Tuesday, June 26th at 6:30 p.m. in the 4th floor meeting room of this building. And so that's something that we place on our website, but it's also, we wanted to say something here this evening about that too. I'd like to just say that this year we had a record number of submissions to our It's All Right teen writing contest. Over 700 people participated in that, and one winner came all the way from Idaho to receive the prize. And so we were very glad that was possible, and we could join in their celebration of that writing mattered that much to their family and to them. So, yes, did you have a question, Ed?
How many winners were there, and how many of them appeared here?
There are 3 winners in each grade. 4 winners. No.
6. 3 winners in each of 6 categories.
3 winners in each of 6 categories. Children about half come, and so they don't know they're a winner. They might know they're a finalist, but they don't know they're a winner until that day, till that evening.
Really? So the person in Idaho either wanted to come back to where they went to 3rd grade, or they were really confident?
Well, he must have known he was a finalist.
She knew she was a finalist, but she did not know she was a winner. No.
And nor did we pay her way.
No. No, we did not.
That was the real question. Is there a benefit to us or to them, in fact, to do it differently? Just a thought, and that we can get them here. How many people come? How many people attended altogether?
About 60.
And how many finalists were in each category?
12.
12
finalists each of 6 categories.
Oh, okay.
So how many is that altogether?
72.
That were notified? 22?
72.
72. So that most of the attendees were, in fact,
I wouldn't say that.
Finalists.
finalists.
No.
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 Well, it's interesting that we had a contestant from Idaho. I would have thought would be local, but not necessarily.
We have had a student win from Pakistan.
Really?
Oh, that's right.
Yes, and we received a lovely letter from that person thanking us for allowing her to participate, because it wasn't something she could do where she lived.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ended up winning. So it was special for that reason. So,
We have several volunteers that are involved in this process.
we have
Correct.
many volunteers who are
Yes.
involved in this process.
Yes.
Although many of the people who screen these, they're blind screen, so they
Right.
don't know who people are. We have many people who read, and there's several levels of screening up to the point at which winners are chosen. This has been going on now 22 years. So, yep. MGO blog, I will say, we had.
Before you leave that, please, I can tell you right now that I am interested in discussing funding unique travel where there are issues of a Pakistan winner or an Idaho winner to a child and an accompanying adult. I'm certain that we can arrange for that to be underwritten.
Let's talk further about that sometime.
Thank you. We had one of our pulp articles blogged by MGO Blog, which is a national fan blog for all things Michigan, and picked it up because this person wrote about all the really interesting, what she referred to as dive bars across Washtenaw County, and visits to them and descriptions of them. So this was picked up and put out in a different way. And one of the readers of MGO Blog said, it turned out that the day that worked best for us to, that's the article. I don't have the quote. The quote was essentially, what's really cool about this is that this was published by a library and it was written by a librarian and it's about dive bars. Who knew? So that's what, it's a very well written, very interesting piece. And I will admit to having been in about half of the locations in my 26 years here. There are a couple I haven't been in, and after reading about them, probably won't be going there. But still, it was quite interesting for a pulp article to be picked up that way. What else, Eli? I want to get off of my my thing here. Did I mess up?
Something about librarians.
Okay.
With the dive.
Divers.
It's on the list, absolutely on the list. Divers is on the list, so you could probably list the list. Yeah?
I'm sure I could.
We're on fire tonight.
Yeah, Concentrate included a piece on two of our podcasts, 2 of the 3 that they pulled out as notable and were done here. And so I wanted you to know that. So that is something that we're doing more and more of. And you want to help me out with which the names?
Martin Van Dyke
Martin-
Undercovers and Super Skull, which is the Vault of Midnight podcast.
Right, the Vault of Midnight podcast was about comics, right? And then the Martin Van Dyke, which we've been doing for a while.
6 years.
So of all the podcasts they could pull out, they pulled 2 of their 3 to talk about were AADL podcasts. I had the pleasure of speaking to the Orchard Hills Maplewood Homeowners Association on June 6th. And this is an interesting picture because that evening, it was a beautiful evening, and I was competing with the singing of red-winged blackbirds. It was just lovely out there. So there were about 40 people in attendance. They had some great questions. I shared a comment from a written comment to me from one of the members in this director's report. It's printed in the board report. The downtown data center, aka server room, now has a generator and it's now cooling. So that is all good news. That's something that we've been working toward, and you knew we were. And so I'll just say that. And so Lynn's sitting there smiling at me. So it's cooler in there. We're not worried about it frying eggs on the server. These are slides that are comments from the Ann Arbor Comic Arts Festival. And this is about kids dressing up, which you should have seen kids coming all dressed up in their favorite comic character costume. And adults did too. The vendors were selling out of their comics, and one person was saying, "Oh my gosh, this is the best show, and I love everyone." I had an opportunity. I spoke with this particular vendor, and she could not have been more complimentary of this festival. She said that coming here, and I'm not saying her name because I'm going to be out on YouTube. She said that coming here into this environment, as well organized as this was, helps her deal with some of the big Coliseum shows she has to go with in her brain and preparing to have to do that. So I thought that was really lovely of her to say so. Downstairs on Saturday, we were doing screen printing of bags. And this is the Yorick tote bag. And this person wrote, "This is what's distracted me from the At Shakespeare World Cup. Learning how to screen print, Secret Lab made a tiny Yorick tote bag." And then Dave Carter, yesterday's comics haul, that's what he bought. So Dave beat me, but not by much. Not by much. Ryan Estrada, he said he couldn't make it to A2CAF, the amazing kid-friendly Comic Con at AADL, because he was teaching and I think this is Gijang in Korea, Gijang Library in Korea. And what he did, he said during the awards, they had a competition there where kids were doing, I think, comics, and he videoed them and sent a video out, and you can watch these kids doing this, and they were talking about how they make comics disappear. And this is a play on the Avengers movie, where the bad guy decides people are going to disappear. So these kids were doing this in their own way, and he thought it was so clever. He shared it out with all of us. Yeah.
Matt, do we have audio? Yep.
Only Lion Teacher comics are gone.
So he says he comes back to Ann Arbor about every 5 years, and he loves this library, and he wanted to share this. And I think, isn't that great? Look at Jagan. He can't. It's very funny. I thought it was very funny too. We painted the rock, and when I say we, I mean Rich painted the rock, and he painted it like between 4 and 6 in the morning on Friday.
Wow.
Lynn, he says, was his co-conspirator. Lynn got all of his supplies, had it all set for him. Lynn was not present for the painting, but this is what it looked like until the Burns Park soccer team painted it later. Yes, but that's the way it goes. I mean, that's how it goes. So we paint. I think for the first time ever, AADL painted the rock. So there it is. Play.aadl.org.
Really good
Yeah,
job.
it's
Yeah, he did a very, very good job. And he's not here to be congratulated. These are some other comments. Can't wait for the fun. Ready for the summer game. Summer game at AADL, the best libraries. You have a family shot with their T-shirts. And then, okay, AADL, it's day one of the summer game, our first time playing, and I think I'm having more fun than my son, this writer wrote. And then down on the bottom, it says fourth graders are preparing for a summer full of reading at AADL today. That's Pittsville. I recognize the chair. I'm not sure where the other one is. Maybe it's both Pittsville. These are comments from teachers from 3 schools in the system where our staff went out and talked up the summer game. And one, I'm trying to see, we were talking about where these were. Burns Park, Hazley, and King. I think that's right. So you can read them. The teachers were yes, Burns, she's shaking her head, yes. So she knew about this. So we had staff out talking about the summer game, and we had teachers very, very excited. Eberwhite, King, and Hazley. That's where this is. So great. And this one, free rides, free the ride, ride the ride, free on weekends. The AAATA is working with the library, and they have provided free rides on Saturday and Sunday from June 16th to August 26th if you show a library card. You may ride the bus for free on the weekends in the area. There are codes on those buses, outside and inside. Some good reason to just take a ride around town. The air conditioning on the buses was way better than walking yesterday. This was also something that we did. You knew that in the partnership that we had with Bright Nights with the University of Michigan in the Depression Center, that a article was published in the American Journal of Psychiatry, I believe. There was also now an article written about it that was put out and was blogged and on the public health forums to fight mental health stigma. So that's been done through U of M Health, and we were very happy about that. And this is photographs that we were sent by someone who just volunteers to help maintain the general area down around Pittsville. Someone who just likes watching the birds and the wildlife at Pittsville. So that's what you're seeing. It's I don't think I have it's an amateur person who considers themselves an amateur zoologist at Pittsville, takes regular pictures of the creatures they see there, and the person shares them with us. And this is a lady said, it's a sad day and I think there's a wasp in my apartment. So she's doing her professional development in the beautiful Mounts Creek branch because she can't deal with the wasp in her apartment. And she's made a photograph and she shared it. And then a lady said, it finally happened. Even with school drop-off, I made it to AADL early enough to get my own working room, coffee in hand, and ready to write at Heaven. And this is obviously Westgate. Somebody's very happy. And a woman said, Kid 1 is clearly my child. She wrote this after we discussed potentially going to the library tomorrow. Library, exclamation point. Yay, exclamation point. This one I had to smile about because this person is probably about the same age as my daughter, late 30s, because of the reference to Carmen Sandiego. If I were a kid again, summer at the library used to be just be Carmen Sandiego on an Apple II with 14 floppy disks with the encyclopedia for 6 hours. But down below, today, learn how to make super sweet paper airplanes and then measure how far they can fly at Westgate. Very different from where in the world is Carmen Sandiego. This is one that was a series, and I'm going to read this because I think that it went the way it came about online was interesting. Someone wrote, riding the bus downtown for free, to check out some books and movies for free, and the cool A2 CAF Comics Festival, yes, free. And all I need for all of this is a library card. Truly, AADL is the best library system. And someone named Eric And someone else said, the things ADL have available to check out blows my mind on a weekly basis. This is Ross. And then Eric replying to someone else, no kidding. While wandering the downtown branch, I was stunned, in all caps, by the options on the third floor. And this is because everything was moved upstairs for A2CAF. Sweet telescopes, DJ equipment, photography stuff, they got it. So that is my direct report. Does anyone have any further questions or anything else you'd like to know or say?
I just wanted to say our family came to both days of A2CAF.
Oh, you came back.
We came, we were overachievers in every way. Spent too much, but enjoyed ourselves immensely, and it was really great to have it on Father's Day too. And I think it was nice to see Ann Arbor out itself and all the geeky dads in town just converging in one place. But it was well run. Everyone was having fun. I worried about the air conditioning for a little bit. And I complimented the vendors who were able to snag spaces right under the vents. But overall, it was nice to see how people could move around the library. So there are events in the basement with screen printing, and then the vendors on the second floor, and then face painting over the kids' area. So people were moving around in a nice fashion, and it wasn't too crowded, but you could see that the magic that needed to happen with everything on the third floor, the special collection being crammed in the third floor, because while we were enjoying the festival, there were also folks trying to collect summer games codes, so they were going out throughout the entire library. And I think people noticed too I feel like it's like those, was it in the fairy tales with the workshops where everything has to be moved and then moved back before the morning. And I haven't checked if everything's been moved back to the first floor.
I'm not sure. I think it has. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you for such a well-organized event. It was really amazing. I think my kids can talk your ear off too about how much they enjoyed it.
So Eli, was it 5,000?
Yeah,
Approximately
just short of
5,000
across the
people
2 days.
over 2 days
Wow.
in this building. And I'd like to publicly thank a librarian here who was the leader on the A2CAF organization for us, and that was Andros. There were many people involved. There was no way to do something like this without many hands. But we all know when you know who the leader is, when everyone's talking about who the leader is, we know they did such a great job.
And she's also an author.
And she's an author. She and her husband were also an author of a science comic on rockets, which I have already started. I'm halfway through, which is really great. And so I just want to make sure that we acknowledge Anne.
That's awesome. I've been so enjoying, she's been posting little bits of that comic online, and I keep reading each of them out loud to my husband because they're so fascinating. Like little things animals have done for science.
And we have so many comic book artists in town who live here in Ann Arbor, who work from the library and experience the library. It was because when we went table to table, I asked, where are you from? And then, there's one vendor who came from Toronto, vendor/comic book artist author, right? From Toronto. But I was really astounded by how many are based here. It's amazing.
Very, very interesting event. We're glad. It's what, 5? Well, it's 10 years as an event, 7 at AADL. So, yeah.
Where was it before?
On campus, wasn't it?
No, 1 year at the Dearborn Library and 2 years at the Chelsea Library.
Right. That's right.
Oh, right. Forgot about that.
I'm thinking about the university's collection. Yes.
Oh,
yeah. Dave
right.
Carter.
The day that, right. And we did that this year again. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on to, does everyone else hear that tiny sound?
I can't.
Okay, it might just be me. Okay, so it has been the tradition to read into the record a letter to Josie for her evaluation. So I'm glad we kept that aspect of the evaluation process. So I have something to read to you all today. But before I read it, I wanted to share 2 things. One is that I learned through this process that Victoria has the worst handwriting that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Second worst.
And that Colleen is a very eloquent writer and probably should have written this whole letter. So I want to read one snippet of the comments that she gave to me about Josie. AADL is great because remarkable and kind people are hired and allowed to think, work, and innovate. The management team is impressive and the outcomes are remarkable. To build a dynamic organization requires dynamic thinking and bravery. I have the impression that Director Parker possesses both things and brings them to work each day. I thought that was really well put, so I wanted to stick that whole thing in there. Dear Josie, the Executive Committee would like to congratulate you on another successful year, one highlighted by the launch of a new website and integrated library system, and the prestigious distinction of having been awarded a 5-star library designation 10 years in a row. These 2 stories in particular illustrate your ability to successfully direct a complex and progressive organization that is highly responsive to the community in which it operates, while setting an example for libraries and public service organizations around the world to follow. To quote from your self-assessment draft, there is no cap on idea generation here. We find that evident in the performance of the library over the past year. The new website includes carefully thought out features that represent both the best of what the population asked for, as well as great ideas suggested by the staff. The implementation plan was well crafted and was communicated well to the board and to the users of the Ann Arbor District Library's website. Your continued 5-star recognition demonstrates that while you have taken the library in a direction that consistently pushes the boundaries of what a public library can and should be, you've maintained an extremely high level of service to the community. This shows not only visionary leadership, but also solid fiscal management of available resources. This year, you also led a team that set records on participation for the library's wildly popular summer game and launched a venture into a new arena for AADL, the Fifth Avenue Press. In an environment in which libraries are being asked to pay increasingly exorbitant prices for content, we applaud your forward-thinking approach with this entry into content creation. You made several important hires in the past year, most notably filling positions to manage the library's finances and direct communications. We agree that you've assembled a strong leadership team. This is evidenced by the coming transition to a new budgeting model that will more closely reflect the flow of spending throughout the year in the library, and by demonstrated dramatic increases in social media engagement. We applaud your management of the external projects conducted this year to advance the Strategic Plan Goal 3.3 with collaborators at O'Neill Construction and Epic MRA. These projects are extremely important for the board's continued investigation of the future of the flagship downtown library services and space. Your keen sense of timing and direction for this project continues to be a major asset to the library and to the board. Your commitment to external service is excellent. We congratulate you on being asked to co-teach a massive open online course, or MOOC, on public library management with partners at the University of Michigan. To us, this shows that you are considered an expert in what you do and that you also have the ability to share your knowledge with others in an academic setting, something that does not come automatically to all skilled practitioners. We also see that you're consistently engaged with community on key issues relating to the library. This visibility and impact on conversations on important social and infrastructural topics serves the library well. We also commend you for your involvement at a state level, further demonstrating your recognition as an important voice with the expertise to share within the field and with partners in government. Looking forward, we are glad to see your shift from a discussion of physical plant shortcomings to considering the issues of capacity facing the library going forward. We think this framing will help us toward a more progressive outcome when addressing the future of the flagship downtown library. We also agree that a focus on fostering a safe and welcoming environment for all users of the library is an important and effective use of your skills and resources. There are 2 areas in which we have suggestions for continued growth. One is in addressing issues of diversity within the library. We would like to see AADL take on the issue of organizational diversity in a big way. We hope you will consider professional development of all levels of the organization, implicit bias training, and a commitment to re-examining the hiring process to strive towards more diverse candidate pools. A second area is in providing opportunities for professional development and engagement with the Board of Trustees. We would like to suggest a tailored approach. The board is composed of members with a variety of strengths and interests, and we think a strategy that's personalized for each trustee would serve well and could help the library harness the skills and experience of the current trustees. Congratulations on another incredibly successful big year. We couldn't be more grateful to work with you as the director of the AADL. You are an asset to the library and to the community, and we are really looking forward to what the next year will bring. Sincerely, Jamie Vanderbrook on behalf of the Ann Arbor District Library Board of Trustees Executive Committee.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. And I appreciate the support of the library board. It's impossible to go forward with many of the things the ideas that we generate without knowing that there's that support and that there's an understanding of the mission and the vision of the library. And more than anything, though, I have to say that while I'm getting this very visible credit, it's credit for what a little over 200 people get done. And there's no way one person can even do a tiny piece of this. So to all of you in the room, to everyone who will watch it later, you have my heartfelt thanks for another amazing year of 17. It just gets better and better. And I am very grateful to all of you for helping me accomplish the things we accomplished so that very wonderful things can be said about me in a letter from the library board. And thank you very much. It is something someone recently who we all loved here, was amazing contributor to the work of the library, took a position that was a dream for her dream. And there was some discussion about losing this person and what are we going to do. And she said something to me, and I said to her, look, I know why this is so important to you. I know you. I know this job has a unique skill set requirement that you have, that you've developed, and you're going to use it. And now is the time to go do that. Someone said that to me when I was about your age, about being the director of this library. And I followed my dream. I followed what mattered to me. And here's where I am. You go. You go. And so I think being able to say that to the young people who come through here, who aren't staying with us, but who are building on what they learn here and what they learn from the community and from other people here, is a very important part of my job. And it's really, frankly, a lot of the most rewarding part of my job. And I thank all of you for supporting all of us. Thank you.
Okay. So I think we move on to new business, including a resolution to amend the 2017-2018 budget.
I would like to move resolution to amend the 2017-2018 approved budget. The board resolves as follows: to transfer $10,000 from salaries and wages to employee benefits, to transfer $10,000 from salaries and wages to custodial services, to transfer $25,000 from salaries and wages to communications, to transfer $2,500 from salaries and wages to software license and maintenance, to transfer $25,000 from salaries and wages to capital outlay maintenance, that all resolutions and parts of resolutions that conflict with the provisions of this resolution are rescinded.
I will second that.
Discussion? Do you have anything you'd like to say off the bat?
No, unless there's some questions about it.
Okay.
I just want to double check that this is 2,500 and not 25,000 in item 4. That is correct.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, shall we vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, moving on to resolution to approve and ratify agreement with the Ann Arbor District Library Librarians Association, page 38.
I move to a resolution to approve and ratify agreement with the Ann Arbor District Library Librarians Association. The board resolves as follows: to approve and ratify the agreement effective July 1, 2018 through June 30th, 2023 between the Ann Arbor District Library Librarians Association and the Ann Arbor District Library. That all resolutions and parts of resolutions that conflict with the provisions of this resolution are rescinded.
Second. I second.
Second. I've been given permission.
Oh, you've,
Oh.
okay. Jan beat you.
All right, any discussion on this item? No? Okay. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, one more to go. Resolution to approve and ratify agreement with the Ann Arbor District Library Staff Associates, page 39. Jim's on a roll.
The board resolves as follows: to approve and ratify the agreement effective July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2023 between the Ann Arbor District Library Staff Associates and the Ann Arbor District Library. that all resolutions and parts of resolutions that conflict with the provisions of this resolution are rescinded.
Second.
Discussion on this one. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, one last vote. It's a roll call vote.
I'll move that we have a closed session at the July 16th, 2018 regular board meeting for discussion of real estate.
Second.
Thank you, Jan.
Okay. Victoria Green. Jim Leha.
Yes.
Barney Newman.
Yes.
Colleen Sherman.
Aye.
Lynn Song.
Yes.
Ed Somerville.
Yes.
Jamie Vanderbrook.
Yes. Okay, has anyone popped up to your desk?
No.
Generally used.
Would anyone else like to speak? All right. Thanks, everyone. Great meeting.
50 minutes?
Yeah,
50
I know.
minutes.
Not
Oh
even
my
much
God.
sure what happened.
Go enjoy the summer.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
That was lovely.
I'm not going to be at the 16th.
No.
So I let you know.
I
I
was
hope you're going to the theater again.
I wasn't going to, but I
Yeah.
so I didn't know it says
I may not be here either.